What's up, guys? It's Jake. Today we're going to be trying something a little bit different. We're going to be modeling Raven from Teen Titans, specifically Teen Titans Go. And so Raven is kind of a basic character in terms of just the shape of her body, like because she's wearing a cloak, she's more of a simple kind of character, so that's why I decided to model her. So the first thing that we're going to start with is we're going to start with a sphere. So we're going to go to poly modeling, select a sphere, and then all we want to do is we want to get the rough shape of her head first. And the thing about, or like the hood, and so to start with that, we're going to select the edges and we're actually going to scale these out. We actually need to scale the whole thing. We need to scale it a little bit flatter, and then we want to scale the edges. We want those to be scaled out, and you'll see why in a second, because this is going to taper out, and then it's going to taper back in. And let's scale this one a little bit more. And that's going to be like the rough shape of her hood. We actually need to scale this out a little bit. And we want to kind of raise these edges up a little bit. And move that last vertex up. And there's that. And so now what we want to do is we want to find the center, and what we want to do is we want to make the little like point, and then we want to kind of like carve out where we want all of these all of this to go, like where we want to carve out the actual hood itself, and then we're going to add the little like flap on the back of the hood, and then we're going to like cut out the shape of like the hood itself. We're going to extrude these faces down to make the robe itself, and then we're going to work on her face. So to start off, what we're going to do is we need to go over here and we need to go to transform constraint and surface slide. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow us to move these vertexes around so that we can make the hood without it interfering. And we're also going to turn on symmetry so that we can move these vertices around and they're all like equal and the same. So we're going to move these around. And then we're going to move these. And then we're just going to kind of move these around in the same way. Just get the hood where we want it. And then for these, we're going to bring these in, because these need to start getting tapered back out towards the bottom. And then move this one down a little bit. And then that's about the shape that we want. And then of course, you'll see we're going to take these faces and we're going to select all those. And then that, you'll see that that makes the shape of Raven's hood. We're actually going to go ahead and extrude that now. So we're going to extrude that in, and we're going to scale that up and move it back in. select all these faces and then try to extrude them. It'll let us. Now let's see if it'll let us scale. No, it won't let us scale it. Let me see if it'll let us scale this edge then. Okay, that won't work. Maybe. I don't know why it's doing that. So the problem with that is that means that it's not hidden, and so that is a problem when it comes to, oh, I know why it's doing that, guys. It's because we have that surface constraint. So we're going to turn that off. We're going to undo, go back. Now we're going to turn off the surface constraint and turn off symmetry. That was our problem. So we're going to go through here, select all these faces, and now we're going to extrude that. And now let's see if we can scale it. There we go, that's what we wanted. And we want to scale it a little bit more. Not too much, because we want to have some dignity in the hood, in the hooded part. And then let's smooth it and see how that looks. That actually looks really good for what we want, guys. So now what we're going to do is, what we need to do is we need to move these vertexes. And we actually need to give it some space where we can like move this face. We want to scale it enough where it gives enough definition to the hood, but we also want to give enough definition to the hood, but we also want to make it where we can edit the face and it'll look how we want it to be. So let's actually go back where we were. So I think this is probably what we want right here. So we're going to smooth that, and then we need to move these vertexes up. So we're going to select, we're going to select these vertexes. We're going to select these vertexes, and we're just going to lift those up if we can. And then for these, we're going to pull those to the side. Oh, almost forgot one. I'm going to pull these to the side. Pull these to the side. And then once we add edge loops, these will be sharper, and then we can take care of that from there. Now for this, we need to select all of these, and these just need to go down. And I think that is about all we have to do for that, guys. So all we're really going to do now is we're going to add yeah, so we're going to add edge loops there to give that hood its point. And then we don't really want these to be crazy sharp either, these edges, because a hood isn't going to be sharp. It's going to be like kind of smooth-ish. But the next thing we need to do is we need to add the like flap on the back. So we're going to take these faces and we're going to extrude them. And we're just going to bring them down. Scale it back up a little bit, and then we want to extrude it again, scale it, rotate it, and then like I said, this is going to make the little flap for the hood. Let's extend it a little bit and scale it out a little bit. I think that's about it. And that's what we want right there. And then for this part, we're just going to go ahead and do this for right now. We're going to select all of this. And this is going to be her body that we're doing here. I'm going to select all these faces. And we're going to delete them. And then all we're going to do, select these edges, fill that hole up, select that face, and we're going to extrude that straight down and scale it. And we're going to add an edge loop down at the bottom. We're going to add one here and here. And there's that. We might want to go ahead and scale this edge, these edges. There we go. We want it to be tapered off a little bit, but not too much. And we do the same thing to that face. And that's about what we want right there. And now we can see that Raven is coming together. We might want to delete this edge right here up into probably right there, because we don't want that to interfere with the front of it. Now, when we get there, we're probably going to add a seam right here down the center, because her robe does have a seam that goes down the center, and then of course we have a gem that goes on the chest right here. So actually we might actually end up moving this in. Let's go ahead and deselect that, and let's select this and move this in. And let's see how that looks. Let's select that vertex and just bring that one vertex forward a little bit. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. We do still need to fix this seam though, because these edges are kind of getting in the way a little bit. So let's delete those. Maybe it does need one seam. So all trial and error with this, guys. And let's select that edge that we just made. And let's flatten it out. Now her face still looks a little bit wonky, but you know, we'll figure it out. So now comes the hard part. We have to decide how we're going to do the eyes, because this part right here is supposed to be, everything is supposed to be dark underneath the hood except for the eyes. And then the mouth is supposed to be showing, but nothing else. So I think that's what we're going to try to do, is try to highlight the eyes and then highlight the mouth, but we're not going to highlight the rest of the face. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn on surface slide again, and we're going to move this vertice out along with this one, and we're going to move I'm going to move these in. And let's see how that looks. Okay, that's getting closer to what we're wanting. And maybe we can lift this edge up, or this vertex up. We need to delete some of these vertices because these are not needed. Because that's messing up the entire, messing up the whole process. So let's see if we can move these in now. And let's see if we can raise this up. And I think that's all we can really do for that. And when we put the eyes in, the mouth will show here, and then her eyes will show, and then that'll be it for that. So now what we're going to do is we need to do the stone on her chest, and we need to do her eyes, we need to do her mouth, and then all we have left to do is color it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to work on the eyes. So the first thing we want to do is we want to get a cylinder. We want to rotate it 90 degrees. And then what we want to do is we want to, her eyes are in more of a shape of a crescent. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to delete the faces on the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to select these faces. Here, we're actually going to do this first. We're going to select it, and we're going to do subdivision caps. We're going to do 4, and you'll see why in a second. And then all we're going to do is select the top faces, delete those, and select the edge and fill hole. And all we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to scale it down where it's nice and skinny. And then all we're going to do is we're going to take the edges on both sides. We're going to scale those down as well. And we're basically just going to kind of scoot all of these over. Basically just going to scoot all of these over. So we're going to select this one. We're going to scale it, scoot it over. Select this one and scoot it over. we of course have to select the vertex. We're going to scoot those over as well, and then we need to select these. We're going to scale this down and scoot it over so that it's about where we want it. And that's about what we want right there. And you'll see what we're doing with that in a second. We're actually going to take these and we're going to scale them down, scale them out a little bit more because we want them to be a little bit bigger. And we're going to take these vertexes and you'll see what we're doing with this in a second. We're going to scale all these and make them even. We're going to scale them. Uh-oh. Do I have... I do. Scale it like that and bring it up. Actually, let's go back to what we originally had because that looked better than what we have now. We only want to move these up a little bit. We don't want to move them up too much. Only want to move them up just a little, not a whole lot. Okay, and you'll see what we're going to do with this in a second. So we're going to scale this right there. We're going to bring this up to her face now. We're going to make this a little bit, and then we're going to scale this down to fit her eyes. And we just need to move this in where it's just barely visible. And we're going to do the same thing. And we're going to duplicate and we're going to rotate this one to match the other side. And then that's about what we want right there. And then all we're going to do is add the mouth there. And we're going to add color to the eyes. First thing we're going to do before that though is we're going to select both of these and we're going to add edge loops to this. we don't want when we color those, we don't want that to interfere with anything. So and we're actually going to move these in because we just want them barely barely noticeable, like where you can barely see them. And maybe let's not add that many edge loops to them. At least not yet. We'll probably keep those sharp instead of smooth because those do need to be a little bit sharper than everything else. We actually need to scale this down a little bit. And let's just match these up the best we can. Let's scale these up a little bit. Just a little bit. And I think that's about perfect. So now what we have to do is add the smile, or the mouth, I guess. And simply all we're going to do for that, so we're just going to take a rectangle, move it into place. We need to scale it down very, very small. And this needs to be like really, really small, like the smallest cube we can. We're going to turn on symmetry. And Raven has like this, I guess like somewhat of a frown, I guess. And that's all we really want right there. That's the shape that we want. And we just move it into place. And now all we have left to do is the stone in the center of her body, and so we're going to do that now. So we're going to do a cube, a simple cube. We're going to rotate it where the point is up. We're going to rotate the cube and then bring it up into place. And we're going to scale it down. And that's about how big we want it. And then we're going to put it right there. We're going to add some multi-cuts. Now, let's see what's happening. Turn off symmetry. And then smooth it. And then all we're going to do is bring it up and put it right here. And then all we're going to do is select this face. We're going to extrude it, scale it down, and bring it forward. And scale this down as well. Scale down this face. Then all we're going to do is add more edge loops. Okay, and then once we add color, that will be what we want there. So the first thing that we're going to start with, now that we're ready to color it, let's actually add some edge loops in here because it looks like we might need some. What's going on here? Let's pull that out of there. Let's kind of shape this up a little bit and fix it. And what we're going to do first is we're going to select these faces . And we're going to make this a Lambert. And we want this to be really dark. We don't want it to be black, but we want it to be dark. And then all we're going to do is we're going to select these faces. And this is going to be like her skin tone. And this is going to be like a white, kind of a light white or gray. I'm going to actually move these vertices in a little bit so that it's not as, and then let's actually go back because we need to select the inverse. Why is it not letting me invert the selection? Okay, let's do it this way then. And assign a new material, and this is going to be the purple that is like the main color of her robe. Let me make sure that I'm matching this color correctly. And we want like a purple kind of like this. And then let's go back to the face. Let's select these faces. And let's do that right there. And so this has like a gold kind of look to it, so we're going to assign a new material. We're going to make this a blend, and we're going to make this a gold color, a gold-ish color, like that. And then we're going to select the faces. select all these faces, assign a new material, make that a blend. Excuse me. And now we're going to pick a red color, and that'll be the gem in the center. This needs to be solid black. And then for these, we're going to assign a new material, Lambert, and this needs to be white. And then we're going to select these faces. We're going to select these because these are going to be the pupils. And I believe we used Lambert 5 for black. Lambert 5 for that. And then we're going to select, I think we did Lambert 4 for the purple? No. Or was it? Was it Lambert 3? It was Lambert 3. And to do about that. So we're going to select these faces, and we're going to make those. And there we go, guys. Now we have the finished Raven from Teen Titans Go. It does look a little bit different and a little bit more kind of like I guess in terms of like lookalikes, it does look a little bit different. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to lower this down. Raise these up, and I'm going to scale these in. And I'm just going to push them out where they were. And maybe that'll make it look a little bit more like Raven. And there we go. I think that looks pretty good, guys. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, and let me know what you think I should model next. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with your friends. And also check out my website and my Thingiverse link in the About section of my YouTube channel. I post my models such as this. I post all the files that I model so that people can 3D print them at home. So if you want to go there, it's absolutely free. All you have to do is sign up with an email. You don't have to pay anything for a membership or anything. But you can, however, pay to support me. But you can go to Thingiverse, follow my creator tag, and you can see whenever I upload files there, so you can 3D print them at home if you happen to have a 3D printer. But also check out my portfolio. I've been working hard on putting it together. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all in the next one.